If you have a senior loved one who's getting ready for that move to a senior facility, there is a lot of moving parts, but it's turnkey with Elder Advisors. They can save you a lot of money. That's number one, but they do so much more. We're going to talk about that today. Autumn Schneider is here. Autumn, your specialty is placement, correct?
Yes.
So, and that's a big issue, and we'll talk about that here in a second, but I want to introduce the rest of the Elder Law team. Jeff Hurst, RE/MAX Properties East. When it comes to real estate, you're the man, right?
That is correct. I am the person. Call me.
I think you can't wear a tie like that and not be the man. I mean, that says I'm the man right here. And then, of course, Elder Law superstar.
What's that make me? If he's the man, what's that make me?
Go ahead. You're the prince. you're the superstar Elder Law guy.
I'll take that.
Steve Langdon.
I'll take that.
Okay, Steve. A lot of this is. I'll go ahead and start with you, Steve. A lot of this is, as far as saving money, is about knowing strategies and the law. And it's not like you're cheating anyone or the IRS is going to come by and get you. You're just playing by the rules to your favor, right?
Right. Exactly. I always tell people, like you said, the IRS. When we pay our taxes, we don't pay everything we can. We take advantage of every exemption, exception, whatever rule we can to pay as little taxes as possible. Well, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing here so that we can make sure that if there's a nursing home situation and we're paying $8, $9, $10, $11, $12,000 a month to the nursing home.
Ooh, and that's real.
That's real money. And we got to stop the bleeding. And we can do that for a married couple. We're generally going to save 100% of your assets. 100%.
Wow.
For a single person, we'll save half, but half of something's better than all or nothing. So, getting us in the sooner, the better. That's why, we're going to have our workshops next week here in Louisville on Monday, and then Bardstown and Clarksville on Tuesday. You guys come on out. Hilton Garden Inn Monday at 6 p.m. And then Clarksville on Tuesday, the Hampton Inn over on Broadway. And then, we don't do this one very often, but we're going to head down to Bardstown on October 4th at 3 p.m. because those folks need help too. I mean, we've been doing Cordon. Now we're out in Bardstown. We're really kind of making a circuit here because, need has no season. We're getting here with Thanksgiving and Christmas and all these different things, and people think, well, it's the holidays, I'll get to it later. But man, need has no season. It's just bad. It's not if something bad is going to happen. Honestly, it's when, and you got to get ahead of the game. These workshops are free. Come on in. We're going to talk to you about it, give you some great information. It's free and it's fun. We have a good time.
Yeah, if you're wondering why they're well attended, I think first and foremost, you're going to save a lot of money, and the news is good. As Steve always says, it is good news. Don't be apprehensive or hesitant to attend these because you're going to come out of there feeling a lot better. Autumn, let's talk about your area of expertise, which is placement. I know it got really complex during the pandemic for a lot of things, but particularly senior living facilities.
Yeah.
So what is the environment like now when you're placing folks?
The environment's pretty tough right now. You've got a lot of places that might be a little bit short-staffed and different things like that. Beds are less and less around. It's really hard to find. I feel like you should reach out because it's really challenging, and you shouldn't have to do that alone. If it's challenging for me, it's going to be extra challenging for you because we know that the people, we have the tools to be able to kind of navigate that world a little bit, but it's definitely challenging. But kind of what Steve was saying a minute ago with the holidays coming up, a lot of people think, well, we don't want to put mom in, we want to wait till Christmas is done, dad, whatever. I would like to say that you don't have to just place them right now. If you're thinking, oh, it's coming, give us a call because there's things we can do to go ahead and line it up for maybe that day that you're ready. Maybe it's after the holidays because you want to have that family time at home if they're still able to be at home. So there's different things like that we can do to kind of accommodate each person differently. We can slow walk, hold hands, get paperwork. We do files that are, super thick. It's going to take us a little time, but we handhold during that process.
But that's why you show up for these workshops, right? I mean, so you can get that free information. Just costs you a little bit of time so that you can understand. You're starting to see mom or dad slip a little bit. We do want to make sure they're home over the holidays, and I completely understand that. But if the crisis hits, you've got to be prepared. Otherwise, you feel like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Being proactive is so important. And you both have personal relationships. You in the area of elder law with judges and people that you need to get documents from, et cetera. Autumn, with you, personal relationships with all the senior facilities. It's like, so they're going to help you because you're accustomed to working with you. And that's important when it comes to these things. Someone who knows the turf. And speaking of knowing the turf, now, you mentioned, Steve, that you don't have to sell the home. We've talked about that a lot. Sometimes people think they have to sell it. But if you do, or you decide to by choice.
Right.
You say, look, Mom and Dad has passed. Let's go ahead. Now's a good time. Is it a good time, Jeff Hurst from Remax Properties East? Jeff Hurst, is it a good time to sell a home?
Absolutely, it is. It's still a pretty strong seller's market. It changed a little bit with the interest rates bumping up here about 2 months ago. Somebody that was looking, I've got a client right now, was looking at a $250,000 range home. Interest rates were 3.15. Now she's got 5.75. So now she's looking at $200,000 home. So it's still a strong seller's market. We're still short on inventory, but yes, it's a great time. It's always a great time. People think the best time to have your house in the market is spring and summer. I always say best time of having your house in the market is yesterday. There's always buyers out there.
And those interest rates are still relatively low from when I remember when I was young. Gosh, I mean, it wasn't unusual to have it, 10, 12%. So we look at it because we became accustomed to those really low interest rates.
Yeah.
Steve, what will be discussed? I know you have to leave in the next segment here.
Sure.
So talk a little bit about these workshops. I know they're free, but what kind of topics are we talking about here? Obviously, some of it's legal.
We're going to talk about some proactive planning. Let's do pre-planning. Let's get ahead of the problem. But, so we're going to have some folks show up there that they're in the midst of it. The weight of the world's on their shoulders. They're going through the crisis right now. We're also going to talk about crisis planning. How do we make sure that we can save our assets, preserve what we have so that we can pass it on to our kids? That's also a big part of it. And, what Jeff was saying is so right. Mm-hmm. You just got to be proactive. You got to jump. It doesn't mean you have to sell the house today, but you do need to be in contact with the right people who can answer your questions. And that's what Jeff does. He's a perfect advocate for what he does, and he knows how to do it the right way within the Medicaid rules. And not everybody knows how to do that. He does.
Wow. See, that's what I love about Elder Advisors. He's expanded over the years. Larry has taken this team, and it's like, okay, this isn't covered. We had a client who wants this. We need an expert in that. And he always says, I surround myself with the best people, the intelligent people, and people who are good in what they do. That's Autumn Schneider. Okay, so Autumn, you've been to these seminars. Mm-hmm. They're not boring. How long should someone mark out to go to one of
I'd
these?
give yourself about 2 hours and be ready for Larry because he's always peppy and crazy. I mean, we're pretty happy he's not here today, but
he'll keep you awake.
Yeah, you've got to be ready for that. You never know when he's going to come in and just, say something off the wall or whatever. But yeah, they're about 2 hours long. You're going to get a lot of great information. Steve gets up there. He's our superstar speaker, attorney, and he's going to get up there and really kind of go to bat on all the problems, all the areas that I think that everybody's really concerned with, which is how do we start protecting our money now, and what do we do when a crisis hits? And Steve, he's gonna point that all out and answer questions while he's there as well.
And sadly, you mentioned this, Steve, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing is, and if you are proactive, you can avoid things like probate. You talk about the power of attorney. You talk about how you obtain that. Yeah. A lot of things, and these strategies, and you keep yourself, because this is what you do, up to date on changing laws.
This is all I do.
Yeah.
This is it. Do one thing and make sure you know how to do it very, very well. And this is all I do. You're not going to see me doing a divorce or an adoption or bankruptcy. No, this is all I do. And it's really important because not only do the rules change from time to time, but understand that you're dealing with individuals, maybe at the Medicaid office, and these are folks who probably don't receive the training they deserve, right? And if they're dealing with 500 to 1,000 cases, you may get, sometimes I get families who just get lost in the process. And so that's why they need the advocate. They need somebody to step in for them to make sure the state does what it is supposed to do.
Okay. I'm curious, Autumn, who attends these? Are some of the folks, the seniors, who are actually going, hey, I want to get ahead of this so my kids don't have the problem or the issue? Or is it the kids who say, I want to take care of mom and dad? Or is it all the above? I don't know.
It's all the above. It's a mixture. Some workshops we see more hands go up for crisis. Some it's more for pre-planning. A lot of people don't understand what pre-planning entails. So you should really come out and listen and find out what that is. For those that are crisis, it might be she's starting to slip. So it may be a year from now before she really needs care. But they want to come out and go ahead and do that because we can go ahead and give you the tools, working with Steve Langdon, that would help you pre-plan for that crisis before it becomes a crisis. Because, folks, once it becomes a crisis, I mean, you've got
a mess.
It's everybody's running with their hair on fire. It's crazy. So.
All right, yeah. So, folks, not only peace of mind, but also thousands of dollars. If I told you could save thousands of dollars, would you listen? Okay, we're going to talk more about that. And again, we'll put up the information. These are the workshops. And again, as Steve said, they're free. They're free. Just a little bit of your time, and it's good information. We'll be right back with Elder Advisors.